Hello and welcome to the Virtual Race Academy Porsche RSR Cup. We're broadcasting live here from VRA HQ at Mondello Park for rounds 5 and 6 of the championship at Zandvoort.
Yeah, very close championship so far. So we've had Keith Dempsey, Niall Quinn basically battling it out, topping the timing boards for qualifying practice, followed closely by 3rd, 4th and 5th, which is made up of
Paul Morgan and Niall Murray.
Peter McCann's in there. So basically today's race is kind of make or break for a few people. We've got Keith and Niall more or less battling out at the top, and then about 30-point gap back. But don't forget, there's 42 points on offer today between the two races.
Absolutely, yeah. But so 3rd spot is up for grabs. There's about 5 different guys who can get within an arm's reach of that place today, providing nothing goes wrong. And Zandvoort is a really tricky track.
It is, yeah. So what we're kind of expecting is, if the two guys can get away in the front, they might just open that gap up. But if there's any mistakes, as we've seen in turn 1 and a lot of our races, it could open the door for other opportunities for people to come through.
Absolutely, yeah. Zandvoort, it's one of the classic tracks as well, in use since the 1950s. They, as an F1 track, in fact, they stopped using it in around 1985. But it's a really tight, twisty track through the sand dunes there, and it even has banking there at turn 1, which is the first corner is called Tarzan. Same here as at Mondello Park. So, enough about the points. We just want to talk very quickly before we get into the race. How do you get involved? Because I suppose with online racing, it's much more accessible than real world racing. The barriers to entry are much lower. So now, just give us a quick rundown on what people need to get involved in online racing.
Well, there's basically 3 ways we can get involved. You can come down here to Mondello if you want to get involved in our races. We've got 3 or 4 sims that are readily available on a Wednesday night, Rob, as you know. You can, if you already have sim equipment, we run a set of Corsa is the platform that we run for our sim races. So basically you need a PC, a steering wheel, pedals, internet and a set of Corsa installed.
And all the details are live on the website vra.ie, and you'll see there in the menu there's the online racing league. So go there, check that out. We'll put a link below. Yeah, all the info's there. So another thing we just need to mention before we go trackside is our sponsors. Huge thanks to these guys.
Some cool prizes.
Put forward some prizes. So for first place, thanks to Murray Motorsport, we've got a pair of race boots, and we've got Virtual Race Academy vouchers as well. Trackdays.ie have put in a set of gloves. We've also got Irish Auto Parts on board, MCE Events. Who else have we got on board? We've got Auto Simulation, of course, and Virtual Race Academy. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's head trackside. Enough of us, guys. Let's go check out the action.
Okay, so we're just about to start race 1 here at Zandvoort. We've got a 2-minute countdown. So if we take a look at qualifying and championship points to date, we have, first of all, let's take a look at the championship points. We've got Keith Dempsey at the top of the leaderboard on 83 points. Hot on his tail is Niall Quinn on 73 points. Those two guys have been trading times at the top of the leaderboard in practice all week long. I think it's getting quite serious between those two guys. A lot at stake here in terms of pride and bragging rights. So yeah, it's been Quinn all week, but Dempsey just pipped into the post. But I think Niall is back on pole again. In 3rd spot, we have in the championship, we have Niall Murray on 41 points, so quite a way off, but with 22 points up for grabs here per race. You get an extra point for fastest qualifying lap, by the way. It's very much within Niall's reach to get up to the top step of the podium. Peter McCann also doing really well. He's in 4th, just a point behind Niall there on 40 points. Barry Rabbit there at 36 points. Michael McGuinness 35 points. Paul Morgan a little bit further behind on 22 points. Then we've got Niall Maher and Lawrence de Souza on 20 points. So that rounds out our top 10. Sorry, Owen Murray there on 18 points. He's a 10th place man. So yeah, the top, let's say from 3rd place right down to 10th place, all within a chance. And the lights are about to go out here for round 1 at Zandvoort. And it's a bit of a lead with Dempsey on the inside into turn 1. This could really go all wrong here for a lot of other guys, so really tight. Are they going to keep it clean? A bit of contact here, Quinn on the outside, that gives him the best line into turn 2, and it's clean, no incidents. Oh, just as we say, curse of the commentator, and it's carnage, but most people make it through. Quinn rejoined and Phillips there at the back. Got Rabbit in the lead here, and Dempsey is in second. He managed to just hold on to it, so now Quinn has it all to do. So this is going to be a fascinating race. Is Quinn going to be able to drag himself back through that field? Very well used to leading races, so can he keep Dempsey at bay for the duration? Time will tell. So who have we got in second? We've got Dempsey, we've got Peter McCann in third, McGuinness in fourth, Paul Morgan in fifth, Ronan Hederman in sixth, David Sheehan in seventh. He's doing well, that's really stuff to see him up there. Nicky Meredith, he is really good, he's down in eighth at the moment. Niall Quinn already up 2 places. Stephen Kershaw in 10th, he's only just started driving today, so he's doing well. Niall Murray down in last place. I don't think Murray's going to stay there for long.
Let's go on board with Barry Rabbit here for a while, Rob, just see the lines of Barry's take through.
Okay, so Barry coming onto the main straight, defensive line, keeping Dempsey behind him there. So, Dempsey is looking for any way around that he can. He obviously got a better run onto the main straight. Barry just backing him up there.
Barry.
Yeah, there's no contact. The guys doing great stuff here. Great racing, great to see. Really tight, and we're heading into the fast twisty section of the track here. Completely foot to the floor, flat out through this whole section.
This is really great racing from the guys.
Right on board with Dempsey, get his view of the action. He's putting Barry under a load of pressure. A quick right-hander here now, just a dab on the brakes, back onto the power, fire it in, run it right out to the apex, and then you've got a really tight, tightening right-hander here, down to second gear, and you're hard on the power, trying to keep the back end in check, back down to second again, in for the tight left-hander before the Audi S's. We're coming to the slowest part of the track now, just after the rise here, you've got a tight right-left. So this should be easy for Barry to keep Dempsey behind him.
I don't know about that, Rob, if I'm being honest. Keith has been quickest in practice, I think, coming through. Barry's no stranger to keeping his pace up and keeping people behind him. But we'll see coming down into turn 1, this is going to be very close. It looks like Keith's got a run on him.
Yeah, Keith definitely looks a bit more racy here. He's going to be trying everything he can to get past Barry. He's going to be keeping that Porsche 911 as wide as possible, with a defensive line for Barry, and the undercut there from Dempsey. He's got him through on the inside. Let's switch back to on board with Barry. See, can he hang on to Dempsey? Barry has his mirrors full of Peter McCann as well. As though Dempsey's going to pull a bit of a gap there. Okay, let's have a look down the field, see how the rest of the guys are getting on. Where's Quinn? Back into 6th place already.
Yeah, he's battling away hard, Rob. I've just been watching him on board there. He's really got pace.
Yeah, and he's got Morgan in front of him. So he's actually Niall Murray is coming with him as well. Meredith, I think, struggling with lack of practice. He slid down there in the last place. Niall Murray moving away through the field here.
Yeah, superb racing from the guys, Rob. Everyone keeping it neat and tidy. It's pity about that incident at the start, but we did predict that with Zandvoort here, that we were saying it's going to be so tight and twisty.
See how David Sheehan's getting on. Awesome livery on the Porsche there, the Alta State, the Locks wheel coming into Tarzan corner.
Best looking car on the grid. It's pretty cool.
So we've got 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th place, all in pretty close contention here. Quinn at the back of that pack. Murray, few cars behind. Quinn just taking he's all over the back of Morgan. And he's on the inside here into 9. And he's passed. So right, so McGuinness now is next on the radar. Great stuff from Mel Quinn.
Yeah. Really showing his race experience there. Had that one lined up, but he's showing real pace now to come back into this race.
So Dempsey's walking away with it at the front. Rabbit is he's back into the clutch as he can. Peter is looking racy again now. So can Peter get past him? We have an onboard. We have Barry wide up with the mic, but I think we'll leave him alone for the moment. He looks like he's got plenty to do. So we might get on board with Barry in a little while.
I think Nicky's got past Kershaw there as well. Just see the two of them are side by side, Rob.
Yeah, Murray hasn't managed to keep with the win, so Murray's down in 7th place still. Now coming back up to 3rd now already. So he's really on a charge. Barry Rabbit back in his sights. So he's managed to fight his way through the whole field. Exceptional stuff from Malcolm. Now just off the back of a 24-hour sim race. Who's that drifting into the corner there? That was McGuinness, I think. Well held. Yeah, as I was saying, Quinn, they've just had a 24-hour sim race at Daytona. And Quinn runs wide. I can't get my words out. A bit of damage on the front of that car, and McCann round the outside of him. And they're trading places.
Peter McCann is going to put significant pressure on here, I would say, coming down into this. He's not going to back out of it. I was following through there in practice, Rob, and he was very quick.
We've got Murray on the back of his pack now as well. And he is...
As he dropped away, Quinn just showed, sorry Rob, Quinn just showing the pace there, look at that.
Absolutely. Barry's doing well. I think he's keeping a steady pace. He's got a bit of a gap on Quinn there. Miles getting in the thick of it there. The elbows are out, and he's doing everything he can to catch up. But has he got enough to kind of keep that second place? There's 11 minutes left on the clock as the time ticks down. We'll see what
Hardware is going to become a big part of this now, Rob, we say, as we come into this stage of the race.
What tyres are most of the guys on? They all on mediums or hards?
They had a choice for this race between slicks, the medium and a hard compound. Of course, these drivers are all running on fixed setups for the races, so they're all sharing the same setups. They can choose their own tyre compound, fuel, and they can actually set brake bias as well, Rob.
That's pretty much it. So we've locked down all the other stuff, all the suspension geometry, damping, all that kind of stuff, aero, all that is completely fixed, just so that we try and put the emphasis on the driver as opposed to the driver's ability to set up the car.
That's it, yeah. Already taking a defensive line there.
So yeah, now Quinn right on his tail, and I think it's just a matter of time here. Although Barry, a wily driver, he's had a lot of years experience on those shoulders, so let's see how long he can hold now behind him. Right on board with Barry for a while.
Let's see if we can get a quick update from Barry on our chat. Barry, we're on board with you. You've got Niall behind you, very defensive.
Yeah, at a good start, but I don't really have the pace to be running where I'm running, so trying to just be as defensive as I can and maybe hold them up.
In the back through there, Barry.
Yeah, a little back them up into each other.
You back them up and get the race on. We'll let you back to it. Thanks, Barry.
Thanks.
Yeah, Quinn is all over. A little bit of contact, unintentional, I'm sure, but yeah, unavoidable sometimes. They're heading into the quickest part of the track now, completely flat to the mat through here. Really fast, left, right, left, right.
This is really great racing here from the guys, I have to say. Probably the best race so far, Rob, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. Although the round 2 was fantastic itself, so we had a proper battle between Quinn and Dempsey right at the front. I think, barring any incidents in race 2, that's what we're probably going to see again. But there are great battles throughout the field. We'll stick with this one just for now. It's right on the inside, and they're heading into the Audi S now, and he's passed. So that was another great move, really clean move from Niall Quinn. Fair play, great racing, lads. Can Barry do anything to get past? But I think that's kind of that's going to be it for now. So can Niall Quinn chase down Keith Dempsey? He's got 8 minutes left to do it.
So we're still on board with Quinn now. I think we've got someone in the pits. Rob, is it?
Yeah, so Vernon Headman's in the pits. I wonder what his issue is. Which puts David Sheehan up to 4th place. We're on board with David now in that Alton State car. So he's having a good race. Nicky Meredith up to 9th. Who else is going? Morgan. He's having a battle there with McGuinness. Murray up to 5th. Murray is battling with. Who's Murray battling with? He's battling with McCann.
Ronald's back out, or actually he's still in the pits at this stage, so we just hope he hasn't retired with car issues at this stage.
So the gap at the front, 6.6 seconds now between Quinn and Dempsey. Let's keep an eye on that. I think that's gonna. I think he has time. I think he has time to get that right down, and I think we'll see that. I think we'll see Niall Quinn right on his tail by the end of the race. But although in qualifying and all through practice, those guys have been within a quarter of a second of each other. So it's not like Quinn is significantly faster. They're very, very equal. Murray just running a little bit wide there onto the main straight as they head into Tarzan corner. Nice bank on that curve, not something you see very often these days.
We got the show Rob, his course is in Mondello here racing on Blue Sims. Stephen had a bit of an issue earlier on.
Yeah, a bit of damage on the front of that car. It's the VRA Porsche 911 RSR, of course.
Damage to the car, I can't see from
here. Yeah, a little bit of damage to the front of the car. Looking a little bit battle scarred. See how Nicky Meredith is getting on as well.
6 minutes to go.
So that gap at the front, right down to 6.2 seconds. So Quinn is closing the gap, but possibly not fast enough. Who else is close throughout the field? McCann and Murray still quite close. Let's ride on board with Murray, see how he's getting on. He's going for a dive down the inside here. Is he going to make it stick? No, he's not close enough yet. A little bit of oversteer on the exit of the corner here, heading into the Audi S's again. Oh, he's having to think about it there, yeah, into the first part of the S's. They head into Kumo corner. He's definitely faster than McCann. But Peter making that car extremely wide. A tight defensive inside line.
All of it, it's run out.
Yeah, Niall had a good run there, but looks like he lost a bit of it.
Sliding at the back out of it.
Again, Quinn's defensive line from McCann there. And the last minute, he's late on the brakes. And he backs it in.
Held it.
Good stuff, but I think McCann's going to get him back on the inside. No, Murray keeps him behind. Well done, great racing, guys. So Murray is up from last place, I think, up to 4th. So rundown of the order at the moment. Keith Dempsey in 1st, Niall Quinn in 2nd, Barry Rabbit in 3rd, Niall Murray in 4th, Peter McCann in 5th, Michael McGuinness in 6th, Peter Morgan in 7th, Nicky Meredith in 8th, David Sheehan in 9th, Stephen Kershaw in 10th, and Ronan Hedeman 2 laps down in last place at the moment. He had an issue there and had to pit, so obviously had some damage to the car that he had to change, or perhaps underestimated the fueling and had to refuel that car.
Is that what happened?
Quite possibly. We'll have to get a word with Ronan after the race and see what issue he had. On board with Barry Rabbit now.
Let's get an update from Barry on board. Back on board with Barry Rabbit here. How's the race going so far, Barry?
Yeah, okay, Niall. Yeah, I say we had a good start. Got us a bit out of position. We don't have the pace to be there really against these guys, so we had a bit of defending, and Keith Dempsey and Niall Quinn got me. I held them back as long as I could, but they were both did well. Eventually, Keith got me. I made a little mistake, and Niall got me. So I'm just trying to hold on and see if I can get third. I'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, you made that Porsche pretty wide there, Barry, for a good few laps. You've got Niall Murray is on your tail now. You'll be pleased to know.
I tell you, what a trio to have around you.
Yeah, 3 seconds behind you at the moment. So yeah, keep up the great work. Yeah, good stuff.
It just shows, Rob, actually, just while we're on board with Barry here, with some quality drivers in this race.
Absolutely, yeah, fantastic stuff. Yeah, listen, we'll leave Barry alone. I think he needs to concentrate to keep that gap, because...
Before we go, Barry, how are the tyres looking on the car?
Not a clue. Haven't got time to look at anything.
Over now. Let's just go back down to the grid and we see how Niall Murray's picking up pace there.
Yeah, he's knocked a second off that gap there. See Barry ahead of him. The gap at the front there, pretty static now, is 6.2 seconds. So that's not going to change. So with only 2 minutes on the clock, there's definitely no way, unless Dempsey has an issue or has underestimated his fuel or burned his tyres out, then I think that's probably the way that's going to happen. I don't expect a mistake from either of these two guys. Far too wise ahead on their shoulders to be making silly mistakes at this stage of the race. But can Murray close in on Barry Rabbit? That's the question.
He's got 2 minutes, Rob, to do that.
Yeah, 2 seconds to find. I don't think it's going to happen either. They're the closest two on the track at the moment, I think. Actually, Peter Morgan and McGuinness are also pretty close. You see them behind, but a little bit spaced out. So yeah, I think this could be the way that the race ends. Again, probably that's going to be the curse of the commentator, but we'll see.
Himself and Rob, Stephen Kershaw out in Mondello today at the Virtual Race Academy, which is based in Suite 2. You can get all the details on VRA.ie if you want to sign up for this cup or indeed any future cups. And on Wednesday nights you can come out and race on one of our simulators.
Yeah, just while we have a little lull in the action, now I think we should point out that we need to mention our sponsors who've done a great job supporting us for this first round of the championship. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so we have Irish Auto Parts on board, MCE Events, Murray Motorsport, of course, who've put up one of the prizes for the first place, a pair of boots up for grabs. Practice.ie put up a prize for second place, and we've got a nice pair of driving gloves available, Sparker gloves. Autosimulation.ie, and of course VRA.ie as well. And we're down into the last few seconds of the race, and it is going to end with Dempsey ahead of Quinn. He did close that down to 5 seconds. Barry Rabbit has stayed ahead of Murray. That gap's down to 1 second now. You can see them there just in the distance.
So we talked about this in the driver's briefing before the race, Rob. We said as the time got to 0, if the driver was still leading the race, he would have to complete a final lap.
Yeah, so Keith Dempsey is on his final lap, as is Niall Quinn. The rest of the guys crossing the start-finish line now, and pretty much all of them on the final lap. So there is still a chance. Let's take a look at this battle between Murray and Rabbit. Is there going to be a last-minute attempt here? Without a doubt there is, if I know Niall Murray. And Murray power slides it out of the turn 9 there. Let's ride on board with Murray very quickly.
Oh, this is great stuff. Oh, Barry runs a little bit wide. Has he got him?
Oh, he has got him. Ah, that's bad luck. Barry's driven so well all racing. As
let's see if Barry will come back at him.
Very, very close. Let's just ride back with Barry. Niall possibly has the legs, but yeah, Niall makes a little mistake and dips a wheel into the grass there. And can Barry just get that run onto the main straight? No, I think Murray has the legs on him. He does. Yeah, they're heading into the final turn here. They're onto the main straight. That's it. Well done. Great racing, guys. So the top 3 are Keith Dempsey, Niall Quinn, then Niall Murray with a fantastic race right from the back of the grid. Join us in 5 minutes, guys, for race 2.
Good stuff, Rob. Thanks for everyone that you dialed in. We'll be back with you in 5 minutes, we said, for the next race.